Welcome to my party, we're just getting started.
There we are. How are we all doing this morning? Hopefully everything is going great with you. Today here is Thursday, that day. And for those of you that catch us on the restream, do me a favor and just fast forward 10 minutes. Okay, so it looks like we got a good crowd in here this morning. Got several on Rumble. Actually, where's my Rumble numbers at? I can't. There we go. 26 watching on Rumble. Thank you for stopping by. Hicktown Honey, first Queen, Viking Queen. Number 2, West Virginia Pappy, omnipresent, and you are the turd. Deb Sheepdog, Truth Speaking Dad, Smoothie, I don't recognize you. Thanks for showing up. Make sure that you subscribe. Good Boys Guild and Bob 11 Papa. Good morning to you. Over on the let's see, we got one on Twitch, which is always cool. I'm pretty sure I knew who that is. Hey, what's going on, man? And I've got 11 over here on the YouTube side. This thing keeps turning my chat off. I don't know why it's doing that. I need to get that over there. There we go. So what do we got? Let's see here. Tina was first. Catatu was number 2. Beecher was the third. Bradley, West Virginia Pappy, who's omnipresent. Jordan O'Neill, Southern Tier Prepper. Good to see you, lady. Good to see you. Window Liquor, good to go. You're always scratching your head, aren't you? Hicktown Honey, Rural 2IC. Good morning, my friends. And let's see here. Eagle Over Texas, where we got Barrett Vandy. Barrett, I don't recognize you. Thank you for watching, and make sure that you subscribe for more fun. And of course, Tafel. All right, guys. Looks like everybody's checking in. Looks like everybody's ready to go. Sorry about all the weird shadowing. I'm playing with some lighting issues, and I just don't know what to do at this point. I think I need to watch a few more YouTube videos and try and figure out what the hell I'm doing wrong, because I literally went out and bought lights, and they're set up the way they're supposed to be, and I got shadows everywhere. I don't know what the hell to do. It doesn't make any sense to me. All right, let's see. Bretta says I sneak in from time to time. There you go. You gotta be sneaky. Let's see here. You look a little 3D. Yeah, I don't know what, hold on a second. Let me I'm gonna try and push a button here. Probably just gonna break it, but let's try that one and try that one. There. Do I still look 3D? I'm not exactly sure. Let me know what you guys think of that lighting right there. And I could probably turn it. It just seems so bright. It's just so bright. I don't know. I'm going to go with that for right now because I'm tired of pushing buttons. All right. Let's see here. Obviously, I've got a good sound check. Thank you guys for talking to me about my my lighting issues. Okay, so let's go ahead and break right into it. Some of it's funny, some of it's not funny. This one right here, it's a little redonkulous. As usual, I have to play add scene. Hopefully, I've pushed the right button here, screen, and then this little puppy right here. You guys will see that one right there. Guys, this one right here, you can't make this up. We're not going to play the full 2 minutes of it because it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Do I look fuzzy now? I don't know what's going on here. I'm wondering if my bandwidth is getting flexed right now. But I'm going to play the start of this for you. This is from your illustrious White House. This is from old Jill Burr. And we're going to watch the first few minutes, and then I'm going to ask you a question. All right, we're going to stop right there because that is more than enough. So, first question of the day. Type number 1 if you think that reminded you of the Hunger Games. Type number 2 if you just like tap and jazz and whatever. And type number 3 if you don't know what the hell just happened, because I'm still a little confused myself. While you're doing that, Hicktown Honey, what the albino local prepper. I got you. So I guess Eagle, my lighting is better now. Okay, good. Yeah, I got a lot of number 3s over on the on the Rumble side. Like, what the hell just happened? But yeah, it's very what the actual F is that? That's hilarious. So what that was, I'm going to go and let me minimize that window so I can tell you what that is. That was, um, hold on. I might as well just share it with you. Hold on a second. I'll just share it with you. And so what that was is that was old Jill. That was old Flotus. A bit of magic, wonder, and joy brought to you by the talented tappers of Dorrance Dance, performing their playful interpretation of the Nutcracker Suite. Enjoy. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be enjoying that anytime soon, guys. That was blah. That was I can appreciate the music. I can appreciate the skill of dance and tap. I tell people all the time that I live in this box and that my girlfriend is the pixie that dances around me. That should give you an idea of our different personalities. But that's the White House. And I don't know what the hell they're doing. This is right up there when they decided to have those girl boys start making videos inside the White House in the first year. And everybody's like, stop it. You're freaking retarded. Stop it. So with that said, oh, I better scroll down. We got a lot of stuff to look at there. Holy crime. You guys have been going crazy in the chat. Frightening. Yes, very frightening. Major Ken, you're not late, dude. Wow. Good to see you. What's old Major Ken saying? And when he shows up on time, I pay attention. Where are we at here? Where'd old Major Ken go? Where'd you go? Do you have two Rumble channels? One with 72 and one with 55? Okay, so for my peoples, so I had a Rumble channel. I have a Rumble channel. It's got 700 and something people in it. And I've had it for a couple of years. And then I was like, Rumble is very difficult to use on the developer side. And I realized that I don't have a channel. There's no channel. Okay. So I created one and it's like, uh-oh. So now I actually have like a channel where stuff is posted. And then I have an official channel where only 55 people are following. So if you're watching this now or into the future, do me a favor, go ahead and find Local Prepper, all one word, or actually it's actually Local Prepper with a space in the middle on that one. So yeah. Hey, Light Rider, good to see you, bro. So yes, I have both. And when I post, it goes to both of them. All right, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. Where are we at here? I'm with Southern Tier Prepper. Jill has been hanging with Hunter. Yeah, well, I guess Jill's her mom. His mom. I don't know at this point. It's so very confusing and ridiculous what is happening inside of our government. It's just out. I don't get it. I don't understand what's happening. And Temateo showed up. What's up? What's up, man? I haven't seen you in like forever. And you're not late. You're doing fine, bro. You're only like 8 minutes in. We're only like 8 minutes into it, and we're still doing the stupid stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and get on to the other stupid stuff. I'm going to push this button right here, and then I'm going to push that button right there. And here we go. House approves resolution demanding MIT/Harvard presidents resign after anti-Semitism testimony. If you guys didn't know this, right after they did the resolution to begin the inquiry for impeachment, they threw another one right in there calling for I'll just read it. House Representatives voted in favor of a resolution calling for the presidents of Harvard and MIT to resign following last week's hearing on anti-Semitism. In a vote on Wednesday evening, representatives passed the resolution by a vote of 303 to 126. It requires 2/3 to pass, 290. So they were going to get it. Where are we at here? And I think that's really about it on that one. So here's the thing, guys. We all know anti-Semitism is bad. But what these guys did was they went before Congress, they went before the House of Representatives, and they refused to admit that their policies, if they followed their policies, they refused to admit that they weren't following their own policies. So here's the thing. If you have a giant anti-Semitic rally on your campus, that is hate speech. If your campus's policies, your equity, D and what's I and something and inclusion, Okay. If you're DEI, or EDI, I think it's DEI. If your DEI policies say no hate speech and you have a giant 120 person rally of students on your campus and they all break that rule, you can't admit that in front of Congress. You can't admit that to the world. And you can't do it because those are grounds for expulsion, which means they would lose a class of hundreds, which means their money would go. And that's the problem. That's why they did it. That's why they refused to do it. It's all about the money, guys. It's all about the indoctrination. It's all about them getting theirs. And that's what academia has become. If you didn't know this, it's actually the Harvard actually has the what is it? It's like Harvard the business. You know what I'm saying? They actually have a board of directors that are the business of Harvard. Okay. They call themselves that or something similar to it. And they would literally just lose all that money. They'd have to kick all those kids out and they would lose all that money. And then they're going to get a bad name because within the diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, within the DEI world, that they're not woke anymore. And then all these woke crazy people would stop sending them money. Now their donors have already started to crush them, which is great. But I would not expect the other two to step down. I really would not. Oh, let's see. People paying to be brainwashed. Absolutely. I heard this yesterday and it really struck a chord. Okay. And I'm trying to remember who said it. It was actually pretty prominent, this person. I can't remember who said it, but it's actually pretty simple. I'm going to try and quote it. These schools are no longer elite. They're just expensive. Let that one sink in. Tell your kids. Rebecca, good morning. I'm good to see you. Let's see here. It's all about the money. My kids could have done better. That's true. We got all the numbers over there. Let's check out FBI searching White House. Is that current, Beecher? I don't know anything about that. Don't make things up. What's the deal? Let's see here. I don't understand why the colleges don't think it's wrong. I think pattern is so warped. Yeah, Gibbsby. Here's the thing. I just said it a second ago, so I'm going to reiterate for a second. You've got this DEI, all right? Diversity, something, and inclusion. And that is their policy. They actually have people that work there. That's their jobs, okay? That's their jobs to make these things part of the organization. That's why they hired them. Oh, crap, we got to follow DEI if we want to be part of the cool class. So, yeah, let's bring all these people in. And these are all the nutbags that worked in HR that can't get jobs anywhere else in HR. So if they don't follow that, then they're not part of the cool club. Okay. And then they're just an overpriced Phoenix University. They're just an overpriced, centrist or constitutional leaning organization. And the funny thing is during the hearings, they actually tried to say, well, we lean constitutionally and blah, blah, blah. Well, you didn't care about the Constitution when you're telling these freaking Jewish kids, it's not safe, and they know it. They're not stupid. These kids have a right. They've paid their money. They have the right to be safe in those colleges. They have the right to be safe in those dorms. They have the right to be safe walking around in the grounds, and they're not. Because there's a bunch of nutbags, pre-programmed nutbags, okay, that are just, the freshmen that are just following along to being cool, and the sophomores that think they finally made it, and the juniors who just want to make it, and the seniors are going, man, this sucks. I'm going to have to go to work in a year. These are all the idiots. It's the same as frickin' high school. You're just giving people thousands of dollars. Okay, let's see. That's the video you posted. I still don't know. The video I posted about the FBI searching, I don't know. Let's see here. You're not kidding. They expect you to have a 6-year degree to watch videos at YouTube and make $26 an hour. Like how do you pay for the college bills with that pay? You don't. How about them kicking people out for not taking the jab? Yeah, exactly. They just do what they want to do, guys. They do what they want to do. This is right up there with the terms of service. You got to follow our rules and that's going to be it. And then when they break their own rules, it's like, well, we don't have to follow our own rules because those are our rules, not your rules and your rules. You know what I'm saying? It's all bunk. These people, they try to stand on their little freaking ivory towers and tell people how freaking smart and how good they are. But in the end, they're just idiots. They're just idiots. They've made their way into places. You know, here's the thing. A reputable professor 20 years ago would never work in these places because of what's going on. And here's the thing. They're not. They're not. They're writing books. They're giving speeches. They're working in colleges that actually, you know, that are the real academia, that are the real education system, that really push forward free thinking. That's where those guys are. They're not in these nutbag places. These places are full of a bunch of happy, joy, purple-haired, freaky people that are just saying and doing whatever they want to do, and they believe that their opinion is law. Now, once again, we've talked about this before. I never advocate violence, but these are the same people that could have their attitudes adjusted instantaneously. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see here. Just go to trade school, SBS. Yeah, and honestly, more money, less bills. Most of these people that are going to these schools, and it's not even the Ivy League schools. Most of these people that are going off to college now, they're looking at a lifetime of indebtedness, a lifetime. All right, let's see here. See, that's why my Good Boys Guild says. See, that's why my son is going to trade school and then just live with us and build his house on our property. I mean, yeah, it's a solid plan. It's a solid plan. There's no perfect plan, but it's a solid plan. Dropped out of school in the 10th grade and learned several trades. I make over $100,000 a year and no college tuition to pay for it. Outstanding. Good to hear. Good to hear, Window Leco. My PayPal is makes $100,000 a year, and he doesn't have a Patreon account anymore, you slacker. That's what I'm calling you out. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one, guys. Let's go ahead and push this button over here. And we're still kind of in the reasonably dumb stuff. Let's see here. Where did I go? I went over here. No, I did not. I went over here, and I want to push share this instead. There we go. All right, so this came out this morning, I believe. I don't care about your cookies. I make my own. I thought you guys would find this entertaining, and we're just going to talk about this. Let's. What is the title of this? Turkish MP says Israel will suffer the wrath of Allah. Has a heart attack immediately after. If you think that's funny, you have a dark sense of humor. Type 1 in the comments. And if you don't think it's funny, type 2 in the comments. And type 3 if you think that Allah will eventually get Israel. Let's see here. During a speech, Turkey's Sadat party representative experienced sudden heart attack and abruptly collapsed to the ground. On Tuesday, a representative from the province in the Grand National Assembly of Turkey appeared to lose his breath and balance and was sent to the hospital via ambulance. Prior to his collapse, he had just declared that Israel will be smitten with the wrath of Allah, cursing the Jewish state. Guys, you know, you can't make this stuff up. You just can't make this stuff up. You know, he's trying to get to set up a meeting with Allah, apparently. Yeah, apparently. I thought it's funny because it's like, this reminds me of the Gulf War. They told us that they were, you know, what is it? The desert sands will be stained red with the blood of the infidels. These people, they talk a good game. They really do. They talk a good game, but that's really about it. Allah snack bar, I gotcha. God has a good sense of humor too, apparently. Perfect. That's perfect, man. Let's see. Curse God, you die. I love it, Truth Be, Dad. I love it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to something else. And if you guys didn't know this yesterday, I don't know what's going on with my throat again. Let me that's awful. Excuse me. Representative Eric Swalwell in hot water legally for aiding and abetting Hunter Biden to defy lawful congressional subpoena. Oh, what could this mean? Sources in the House say Representative Eric Swalwell, if you guys didn't know this guy, he's the same guy who got caught with a Chinese spy prostitute, is being accused, and he was removed from the Intelligence Committee. Thank God. He was, by the way, he was on the Intelligence Committee during the entire time the government knew about this, and they just let it go. So Eric Swalwell is being accused of aiding and abetting a crime by colluding with Hunter Biden, and his lawyer to blatantly defy a lawful congressional subpoena. The subpoena demanded Hunter Biden's testimony regarding influence peddling and business dealings in a closed-door deposition. During a whiny press conference, arranged by Eric Swalwell, Hunter Biden declared that that he will only testify in a public hearing. So we go in there, and then, oh no, guess what? So someone found it. Apparently, you have to schedule the external part of. Hold on. We'll just go right to that tweet. You have to share this instead. You have to schedule, for the last time, the area that's outside of the Senate called the Senate swap. It was a news conference, and it was scheduled by Congressman Eric Swalwell, speaks on GOP impeachment of President Biden. So he actually lied. Technically, they could probably get him for fraud, for basically frauding official government documents. When you do this kind of stuff, it's like for this purpose, but it's really for this purpose, that becomes fraud. So, yeah, old Mr. Eric Swalwell is the one who decided he was going to get in on this with Mr. Hunter Biden. So I'm sure this video will be flagged and it'll be slagged, and I'm going to be, I guess I'll just repost links to it all over the place. But the reality is that is what just happened. Guys, we have a problem inside of our government where we have people that are just doing whatever the hell they want to do. I don't understand why they do it. They've clearly, this is more than agenda driven, guys. This is more than agenda. Why would Eric Swalwell do something like this? It's not like he's not already in hot water all the time and doesn't care. The only reason that he would do this, in my mind, is that he wants to put on the old knee pads for the Biden administration. Because when things go wrong, they kind of take care of each other. But when things go bad, they eat each other. And I think that he doesn't want to get eaten. So he's continuing to do the ridiculous things that we all know that are absolutely wrong. They're absolutely wrong. Hey, Bird Lady, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see here. Andy Pearson. Fact, people that eat bacon don't blow themselves up. Yes, take that to the bank. Let's see here. What do we got? Or homemade movie. Chinese spy prostitute sounds like a movie plot. Yes. Chinese spy prostitute. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, guys. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, this page has decided to. I'm going to start sharing this page right here, and I'm going to go back to that one. And so we're going to go ahead and move past that. Yes, you like that, Tefel, didn't you? All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk about this very, very briefly. And the reason we're going to do that is because this was going to happen sooner or later. And this comes off of CNN Politics. Rift between Biden and Netanyahu spill into public view. If you guys did not know this, out one side of their mouth, the administration supports what's happening in Israel. And the other side of their mouth, they're saying, no, just slow down, man. Let's let negotiations take effect. Let's watch out we still got those hostages. It's like you're talking about more of these negative things instead of the positive things. Okay, so rifts between the United States and Israel spilled into public view Tuesday as President Joe Biden warned that Israel was losing international support for his campaign against Hamas, and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu publicly rejected American plans for post-war Gaza. Guys, what's he talking about? What did he say? Let's highlight that. Let's highlight that for you guys. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu publicly rejected American plans for post-war Gaza. What does that mean? Oh, I don't know. Private contractors for 10 or 15 years, government military intervention to keep a specific area of the Gaza for themselves, because they've already told them they're not giving back what they've taken. Let's see, what else would that mean? Let's see, if we just like flash back to the Iraq war. I don't know. We got all these big companies coming in there, private contracting subsidiaries, big money, big money. Oh yeah. And don't forget the local McDonald's. So yes, they want them to stop destroying everything so that there's infrastructure left over. Basic laws of coin operations. If you guys don't know what that is, you might want to look it up. Oh, let's see here. What else are we going to do? We're going to talk about, let's talk about Biden goes into 2024 with the economy getting stronger, but voters feel horrible about it. And there's a pretty simple reason why. Let's see if I can get it. God, she's ugly. Good. Go away. Let's make this. Let's see if we can get. There we go. Now we're talking. I don't want to donate to the Associated Press. Do you want me to donate? No, I'm not going to donate to the Associated. By the way, I just noticed on the Rumble side, I've got a subscribe button. If people started subscribing over there, I'd probably come up with some specialized Rumble content. I don't know. I just realized that was there. Also notice there's a dollar thingy over there too, guys. There's a dollar thingy over there in that corner. So if you wanted to come up off your $100,000 a year and help me to keep this channel going, that would be appreciated. All right. So with all that said, Washington AP, President Joe Biden goes into next year's election with a vexing challenge. Just as the U.S. economy is getting stronger, people are still feeling horrible about it. Pollsters and economists say that there has never been as wide a gap between the underlying health of the economy and public perception. The divergence could be a decisive factor in whether the Democrats secure a second term next year. Republicans are seizing on the dissatisfaction to skewer Biden, while the White House is finding less success as it tries to highlight economic progress. Quote, things are getting better, and people think things are going to get worse. And that's the most dangerous piece of this, said Democratic pollster Celinda Lake, who has worked with, there you go. Lake said voters no longer want to just see inflation rates fall. Rather, they want an outright decline in prices, something that last happened on a large scale during the Great Depression. Gee, I don't know what to say about that, guys. Oh, things are getting so much better. Interest rates. If you guys didn't know this, the Fed came out yesterday and we're not making any changes to the interest rates. We're not going to raise them. You guys didn't notice this, the price of gas is going down. It seems to be very precipitous, actually, in the last week. Surprisingly, the gas prices are going down. If your gas prices are going down, type the letter 5 in the chat. Who said hi? Suburban Prepper. Hey, man, good to see you, bro. Good to see you. I watched your video the other day. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, I liked it. You guys should go check him out. Matter of fact, I'd probably like to interview you at some point. Contact local prepper, all one word, @gmail.com. Okay, let's see here. But yeah, so the inflation rate is going flat. Let's see. I was trying to spend the bonus more than one place. You're a hilarious, Catitude. You're hilarious. You're already a Patreon, so you're good to go. So the inflation rate is basically going to flatten out until after January, probably. I filled several gas cans. Yes, smart, Timoteo, smart. But unfortunately, everything's not hooked to the interest rate right now. They think that that's going to somehow solve this problem. They're saying we're targeting a soft landing. And then I was watching Bloomberg for over an hour this morning, and all of these people were like, oh my God, I can't believe this is actually happening. We're actually moving into soft landing territory. And if you take a graph of what happened just before the last crash, everything is like, I watched the Orange Mad Bad channel, the MSNBC channel, for about half an hour this morning, and all they could talk about was how they didn't understand, because they were like making comparisons of the stock market and how good it is, and then they go flashback to an old Trump, tweet from like 25 years ago saying how he doesn't get credit for doing good things, and then making the comparison. Oh my God. It's an absolute joke. And unfortunately, it's all part of the game. It's all part of the plan. This is nothing more than them trying to get your vote, trying to make it so, the world's a good place. They're always searching for that happy, joy, good, warm, fuzzy feeling that you had with old El President Trump. Okay. They're always searching for that. And they don't understand that they can never have it, because everybody knows that these people are scumbags. They don't care about you. I mean, look at the black vote. The black vote right now is even coming to the point where people of black color, where black people are like, dude, we've been duped. And the young people figured it out. And the old people fought it forever. And then you got mom and dad saying, you're going to do this because that's the way we do things. And now the people who said, you're going to vote blue because that's the way we do things, we got to support our own, are realizing they screwed up. That these people don't care about them. They talk a good game, but they don't care about them. It's very saddening. It's very saddening. So let's see here. I got an extra 50% off my next shopping order for a Christmas bonus. Nice. Let's see. I'm sorry you watched that. I'm sorry you watched that. I don't even remember what it was, but I watched a couple of your videos, and I enjoy your videos. So deal with it. Okay, so let's see here. This whole thing where they're not happy that what is it? Biden, is voters feel horrible about the economy. They did this to themselves. They created this situation, guys. They created this situation, and now that it's like the saying, you made your bed, now you got to lie in it. It's that easy. It's that easy. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start looking at this right here. We're going to go and push this button over here, and I want to show you something because it's indicative of the things that are starting to happen. There's things are starting to happen. If you guys didn't know this guy is the new president of Argentina. He looks like he's like combing his hair over to hide his horns. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is, but I know he's the new president of Argentina, and what he has done unilaterally, his administration, overnight, Argentina announces a 50% devaluation of their peso as part of shock economic measures. Gee, why would they do something like that? Argentina has announced the devaluation of their currency due to an economic shock measure. Argentina announced a significant devaluation of its currency, as well as reduction in energy. Man, I don't like when they put stuff like that. Yeah. There we go. We're going to fix that. Let's see here. Argentina announced the devaluation of its currency, as well as a reduction in the energy and transportation subsidies on Tuesday. And according to the new president, Javier Milei, the shock adjustments are necessary to address the country's economic emergency. In a broader speech, Minister of Economy Luis Caputo declared the value of the Argentinian peso will decrease by 50% from 400 pesos to 800 pesos to the dollar. Milei maintained that the nation did not have any time to consider other alternatives. 4 out of 10 Argentinians currently live in poverty, and the country experiences annual inflation of 143%. Along with a massive fiscal deficit, Argentina owes the International Monetary Fund $45 billion plus $43 billion in trade deficits. And by April, $10.6 billion will be owed to multilateral and private creditors. According to Caputo, the government is reducing the size of the government by eliminating state employment and canceling all public works project tenders. In addition, he declared reduction in energy and transportation subsidies, although he did not specify the precise amount of the details. He claimed that these steps were required to reduce the fiscal deficit. My God, someone's looking at their debt. Actually, no, deficit, which he said was the root of all of the nation's economic issues, including the rising rate of inflation. Quote, if we continue as we are inevitably heading towards hyperinflation, Caputo said. Our mission is to avoid a catastrophe. Since taking office only 2 days prior to the move, Milei has already met with a number of high-ranking U.S. officials and his economic team has collaborated with the IMF in order to alter the nation's foreign policy and to boost its economy. Guys, this is what happens. We all talk about, Argentina. We all talk about Venezuela, okay? But Argentina is very similarly affected by the way they do things as far as their economy goes. What we have to do is we have to look at it in a way that keeps a country from going into hyperinflation, is what they said. So what they did was they devalued their currency. So that devalues. That gives them the authority to restructure their debt, to work with lenders, and now they're coming to the United States. Now that means they're coming to the United States, and that means that the United States wants to help out Argentina. I've been to Argentina. It's a beautiful country. They're actually known for their beef. Ooh, it's delicious. But at 143% inflation rate, guys, what would that look like here in America? And how would we get there? How would we get to 143% inflation rate? Well, bad economic policies. We're already doing that. Will we get there? No, I don't think so. I think this is all going to be stopped here in about a year. I think the game is going to be about up, and then Orange Man Bad channel will be in hyperdrive. They'll get all their donors back. They will be getting, a little bit more viewership. But that's really all that's going to happen. So we've got to stop this stuff. And also, too, this kind of leads me to when our government is taken back over from these foolish people, there will be some things that get done that many that wear red ties they'll cheer, because that whole getting even, the revenge, what comes around goes around thing. I would caution everybody to not think like that. And the reason I say that is because you don't want to get caught up in that mess. And you don't want to get caught up in that mess because this is cyclical. This is something that's just going to keep happening over and over and over and over. And every time there's enough nutbags to elect somebody, and we're going to talk about the election here in a second. And that's why this video probably won't get any more play after this live stream, because we're going to talk about something. It gets worse and worse and worse. I'm not telling you guys to take the hike to be all high and mighty about it. What I'm telling you is that there's just no room for it. The more people we can welcome into our way of thinking, the better our country is going to be. And I'll leave that there. All right, let me go ahead and push this button over here. And I don't know what's it's doing that. What's this? There we go. You guys are going to love this. The World Economic Forum likens misinformation to a cybersecurity issue. It calls for more action. Guys, you're going to love this. Where are we at here? I'm going to go scroll. I'm trying to get as much in there as possible. Let me take a sip of the old cofferoonie. According to a recent study by the World Economic Forum and allied organizations, cybersecurity concerns are taking on new dimensions. Misinformation and disinformation disseminated via the internet are now being framed as key challenges in ensuring cybersecurity. The troubling report was launched on December 5th and designated as Cybersecurity Futures 2030. New foundations. And you guys should probably Google that. I'm going to do, matter of fact, I'm going to do that myself. Yeah, we're just going to lock that in right there. Control copy, and we're going to jump right over here. And you guys aren't going to see this, but I'm going to be like, I just literally put that in there. Spelunk, cybersecurity in Phoenix. This is all. I'm probably there. We go. World Economic Forum. There we go. And we're not going to waste our time reading this, but let's just stick to the points. The study postulates the future of cybersecurity lies rather in safeguarding the integrity and source of data. This includes a novel perspective on the significance of locating and squashing or quashing fabricated information. This, guys, you can't make this crap up. What do you think this means? What a minute. You know what? And it's even worse. It's even worse. This introduces a novel perspective on the significance of locating and quashing fabricated information, cynical tagging as mis or disinformation held in the cybersecurity domain. All these fancy words are, we're going to look for people who say things we don't like, and then we're going to quash them. That's what that whole statement says right there. Various international conferences, both virtual and geolocated, were instrumental in shaping the insights of the study. Sessions held across the world in conjunction with an online gathering inviting participants across Europe were supposedly catalysts in outlining the futuristic hypothetical scenarios catapulting cybersecurity to 2030. The World Economic Forum report pushes digital security literacy training. Oh, literacy training. What could that mean, guys? Well, I'm not sure. Maybe they just want to make us more literate. That, as quintessential to warding off the threats posed by misinformation and disinformation, referring to them as the core of cyber concerns. So the cybersecurity issue is not really misinformation or disinformation. It's the core is you saying what you want to say and them not liking it because it doesn't support their agenda. This is similar to the controversial proposal for media literacy that are taking place across some governments, most recently California. I'm on the wrong page. Boop. Authors opine, which means to think about or discuss, that a widespread competence in the internet literacy is the sine qua non in warred zones. Okay. I don't know what those words mean. The report's writers unfold an interesting perspective where stable governments with long-term tech and cybersecurity strategies up their sleeves morph into reliable and trustworthy information gatekeepers. So what they're talking about there in that little statement is the stable governments, basically the ones who who are in charge, who have a long-term tech and cybersecurity strategies up their sleeves. That's a trick, guys. That's the magician. Okay, they morph into reliable and trustworthy information gatekeepers, which means the unforeseen person turns into the gatekeeper. Interesting. The study also puts roles of the government and the private sector in preserving trust under their lens. Oh, they would be having a watchful eye, particularly in the U.S. context. Why? Because we have free speech. Deliberating who should be entrusted with the key censorship tasks. Who should we entrust to shut everybody else up? Gee, I wonder. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and check the chat real quick. We haven't done that in a few minutes. What do we got going on over here? We're going to take that and push that right there. Okay, looking back at the chat. The more preppers, the better. Absolutely. What do we got here? I'm sure to think that they were being generous. I roll. Catitude, you're on point with that observation. Nice. What have we got on the Rumble side? Global through police. Yes, absolutely, West Virginia, Pappy. If they could find a way to lock us all down and just do whatever, make us do just basically 1984 our asses, they would do it. There are people out there that would absolutely freaking do it. And all we'd end up is in a Hunger Games world. That's all we'd end up in. People that want the power, that want to be the nannies, that want control. Once they have it, they never want to give it up. Okay. They would be doing whatever the hell they wanted to do, and we would be doing whatever they wanted us to do. And there would eventually be a revolution, and they would all die. Because as I keep telling people, and they don't seem to be listening, there are more of us than there are of them. All right, let's see here. Good Boys Guild says the more preppers, the less people coming to my house to find food. Absolutely, 100%. And it's a great subject for a video that is very, very difficult to make. Let's see here. Y'all check out Survival Buzz channel. Survival Buzz is pretty good. Survival Buzz. I watch Survival Buzz every time he puts a video out. Okay, let's see here. We're going to move on to the next one. I think I've actually already got it fueled up. No, I do not. You guys are not going to like this. You are not going to like this at all. I've got it on the wrong thing. I'm going to push that button right there. This will definitely get this video flatlined. West Virginia's Secretary of State says 2020 election was stolen by the CIA. Oh my God. Put your tinfoil hats on. But guys, guess what? He's saying some legitimate stuff, and I'm going to read it out for you. During a recent gubernatorial debate, West Virginia Secretary of State Mac Warner, a Republican candidate, asserted that the Central Intelligence Agency had a hand in stealing the 2020 presidential election from Donald Trump. Warner, and to my YouTube, overlords, I'm simply reading an article. Don't be stupid. Warner, a 23-year-old U.S. Army veteran and the current Secretary of State of West Virginia, highlighted his military administrative background as a cornerstone of his gubernatorial campaign. In a recent Metro News debate, Warner reiterated that his prior claims of widespread fraud in the 2020 presidential election, explicitly pointing the finger at the CIA, stating, quote, "The election was stolen and it was stolen by the CIA," end quote. Warner cited Mike Morrell's testimony, the former deputy director of the CIA, before Jim Jordan's House Judicial Committee. He emphasized Morrell's statements regarding a discussion with Anthony Blinken, a senior advisor for the Biden campaign, who later became Secretary of State. Isn't that interesting? The conversation revolved around a report concerning Hunter Biden's laptop and took place shortly before the release of a statement on October 19th from 51 former intelligence officials. 2020. We all know about this letter, the 51 intelligence officials saying that this is Russian disinformation. When Mike Morrell testified under oath to Jim Jordan that, yes, he colluded with Anthony Blinken to sell a lie to the American people 2 weeks before the election for the very purpose of throwing the presidential election. How does that not get stolen if the FBI covers it up and Mark Zuckerberg pays $400 million to put his thumb on the scale? That's not fair, Warner said. Morrell stated that he was triggered by his conversation with Blinken to organize the letter and the signatures in order to, quote, help Vice President Biden because he wanted him to win the election. From the transcripts. Question: prior to Senator Blinken's call, did you not have intent to write this letter? Michael replied, I did not. Question: so his call triggered that intent? Michael replied, yes, absolutely. Jim Jordan, you wanted to help the vice president. Why? Oh, you know what? Let's, what do we got here? I thought I had this cracked open for you guys. Let's see more. Let's see more. There we go. And let's make that a little bit bigger for you. There you go. To recap, Jim Jordan asks, you wanted to help the vice president. Why? Michael Monroe says, because I wanted him to win the election. Guys, the whole testimony, the whole thing was all a setup. It was all a lie. And it's all on record now. The guy actually said this is where it came from and why we did it. Our government, people in power don't want to give up power. You know, why would somebody want the vice president to be the president? If they know who he is and they know that they're buds and they know that they can get something out of it and they know that they can be this position and they know that they can make more money, then it behooves them. It is in their best benefit to do things to make that person to be in that powerful position, because they'll come back and say, I remember what you did for me. I remember you. And here's what I'm going to do for you. Here is your reward, young sheeple. Useful idiots. And nothing was done about this. Zero. Nothing. So our government is as banana republic as it gets. They just happen to wear fancy suits and colored ties. Let's see here. Who's gonna believe some hillbilly? The more okay, we got on that. Let's see here. Never took my tinfoil hat off. Gotcha. Okay, so we're starting to run out of time here. I've got I did that. Oh, I looked for that. I've got that. Okay, so I think that's that's it, guys. That is it for the show today. So we've got right now, I want to thank the 26 people on YouTube. I want to thank the one person on Twitch. On Twitter, I cannot tell if anybody's there. I'm sorry. And then hell, I can't even tell if, can I tell Facebook? Yeah, there's nobody on Facebook watching. Slackers. And the looks like 20 people that are watching on Rumble. Make sure that you guys hit that like and subscribe button. It does help. Obviously, subscribe will let you know when I pop in and pop out. I do have other videos that are coming in. If you want to support the channel, there are lots of links below. Don't be a slacker. Push those buttons. All right, guys. Until the next time, stay safe. Have a great day. And I shall see you when I see you to my Patreons. I will be in the members only Patreon directly after this. And you guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.